Hello, this is training video number 1 for our data processing requirement. We collect data weekly. It's supplied to you as a source document. It'll have a title. The tendering refers to a planning district, and the data that you see here represents a weekly collection. So in that particular week there's only been 11 applications. Some planning districts will have as many as 150, so it varies, but on average each planning district will make about 1,000 planning applications per year. I've highlighted here the columns or the data that is of relevance to us. A lot of data we collect is of no relevance, particularly in respect of local councillors and committees and things like that. And I've highlighted here in blue, and you can cross-reference that back to the data file that I'm going to send you. They're the columns that are of interest to us, and they correlate to columns on our master sheet, which is the Excel spreadsheet we use to edit and eventually to upload to our website. So I've already copied and pasted a lot of the data, but I'll just do a couple here. So the reference, for us we call it the planning reference, and again each planning district has a different way of numbering or referencing their applications. Application received, well, in this particular case it will be our application date. Put that in, and so on and so forth, and you can go across here. I'll just briefly explain. Address in this particular case would be our site address. Proposal is the proposal, etc., etc. So we can now just get rid of that one. We have all the data we need. Now on the master spreadsheet again, it's a little colour code here just to confirm again. Grey, you can usually just copy and paste it into your master sheet. Green categories, you'll have to create an edit. The orange is what we call a sub-edit. We maybe have the information, but it has to be put in a format which is we can upload to our website. We can merge and sort, for instance. And this particular one is the one where you may have to go to a third-party website, and in our case the third-party website would be the Planning Authority website, and we provide a link, so that it's very easy just to examine any documents that you may need to examine. And I'll just clean this up a little bit. Take that out. So let's once again look at the categories, and we provide you with a list of the categories. It's on the other sample video and the other spreadsheet. But before we do that, perhaps it might be wise to eliminate the records that are of no interest to us. So I choose application type and perform a sort, and we can see here is that we're only interested in applications that involve our clients having the opportunity to do some work. So the discharge of a condition is not something that would interest us, and also conservation, trees again, we don't collect data for trees. So there you are. We've just pruned it a little bit, and we now go back to our category. Now we determine our category by reading the proposal, and the proposal here is for an extension and alterations to a loft to create additional living space. Well, for us that would be smaller works, and we can describe that in terms that our customers will understand, and it's very simply, it's another way of saying it's a loft conversion. Simple as that. We don't need to say anything other than that. And the next one, construction of a single level conservatory. Let's just get some more. Construction of a single level conservatory upon the rear roof, including linking to flat 4 and 5 and 4. Well, again, this is smaller works, and all I would put here is first floor conservatory. Now here's one that you can also remove from your list, because retention of existing fence and gates is not something that anybody can get any advantage from. So our clients can't benefit from the retention of gates and fence. So we can actually just delete that out. The next one is extension and alterations to existing outbuildings. Again, we are smaller works, and I would put external alterations. Again, the next one is smaller works. I'm sorry, I'm going ahead of myself. This was general commercial, and it's a car park. Okay. The next one is smaller works. Change flat roof to dual pitch roof. So I would put roofing, flat to pitch. Okay, the next one is, now where you see householder prior notification, it's another way of saying that the council need to know what you're doing, but you don't actually have to get permission for it. And the government changed the rules on this a year or so ago. So it's what we call a permitted development. However, it's of interest to us in the same way as any other application. So again, it's smaller works, and it's a single story extension. Now here we have a general commercial. It's 4 new dwellings, so it's 4 houses. Also maybe bungalows, and where they say where they are bungalows, they usually say that. So that's just the editing part that we have to do, which benefits obviously our clients. It's an easy way that they can filter out opportunities that they're interested in. And the next section here is really the editing of the applicant name and address. Now, in many cases, you'll get used to individual websites and individual planning authorities. And I happen to know that for tendering, the one that we're working on right now, where the applicant address is left vacant, and where the application is a smaller works on what is obviously a house, then the applicant's address is the same as the site address. So I can ignore this because we're not really interested in this, because we've got the applicant address here, and the applicant address, where we edit it into its constituent parts, is of vital importance to us, whereas we don't really use this one. So there are various ways of doing it, but just to illustrate, I'll first of all take the applicant's name, and then we'll, so she's a Mrs. and it's Gwen and it's Mitchell. And her address will be the same. So we're going to copy that, and we just pop it in there, paste, and then I simply take out you will have a different way of doing this, whichever is best for you. There you are. Applicant telephone numbers. We don't collect telephone numbers, and the local authority do not publish individual applicants' telephone numbers. Now, the agent is of less importance to it, but our clients need to know if there's an agent or not. And again, we normally can pick this up straight from the spreadsheet, but we don't have to worry about editing it. We just simply paste it into our master, and the email address and telephone numbers are important to us. Now, the council, as I've said on the previous video, is the name of it's always the name of the source spreadsheet. So in this case it's tendering, and the region, well, we're dealing with the east of England, and that's split up throughout the UK, either the West Country or South East England. And I'm just going to copy that, pop that in there. We've got our target determination date. We notice that one's empty, but we'll come back to that. So what I want to do is just click on the link here. Now my page comes up on a different page, on different screen. So I'm just going to pull that across. So this is where your link will take you, and you can see it's Tendring District Council. And what we want to look at is the documents. And in the documents, you'll see the application form. Now, in cases where it's not clear, or where there's any doubt as to where the applicant lives, then you should always refer back to the actual document itself. And in this case, we can see that Mrs. Gwen Mitchell, she lives at this address, 100 Close Lane. And if we just spin down here to the next page, the site address is the same. And this confirms exactly what I said before, that where they leave the applicant's address blank, 9 times out of 10, it is the site address. But doesn't take half a minute just to confirm that. So I'll take that out. And so on and so forth. So you simply go down, completing the spreadsheet. And then what I like to do at the end of it, I like to minimize it down to say 75%. And then I can see at a glance exactly what's missing, if I've missed anything. Obviously this will all be filled in. And that basically is what we do. So I'll close this now, and I'm sure you'll have many questions.